Towards the end of the build, generally a couple of weeks to go, the builder will ask you to put together a snagging list. If he doesn't ask, I'd recommend putting one together anyway. Generally, the builder's going to have most of this covered. It's the finishing off points, it's the caulking of the skirting boards, it's the silicone around the worktops, it's touching up any paintwork. The reason I ask for this is there's no confusion over what hasn't been done or what needs to be done. So, as I say, when you get to the end of the build, start putting together this snagging list, and then they can be ticked off as the last few days go on, and then in both of your eyes, all the work is complete and the job's finished. So once the job's complete, the builder's going to obviously have a good clear up, get all of his tools and materials, any leftover blocks or bricks or bits of plasterboard, get rid of them, skip away and clean the place. Now, different contractors work on different terms. Personally, once that snagging list is complete, the job is done. So that's when that last retention amount, which is generally only a few percent, say 3%, I ask for that to be paid on completion of the snagging list. Once that's paid, you get the building control sign off if required, any fencer paperwork for new doors or windows, and included in the building notice is any electrical or gas certificates which the contractor will submit to the council, and then once it's been inspected you'll get that final letter saying they're happy with the way all the work's done. Bigger contractors, they will usually leave money on the job, as we call it, for either 6 or 12 months. So if there are problems, there's a bit of money left for the contractors to come back, finish off, and then on completion of the 6 or 12 month term, that money's released and paid to the contractor and all the work's finished. So in terms of the building inspector, they always ask to come and see it once it's completed. It's basically called the sign off or the final. You can either do that yourself as the customer once the builder's finished. Personally, I like to do it, so if he does come in and if there is something that needs adjusting, which is highly unlikely, but you're still here to do the job. So usually once we're finished and it's clear, building inspector comes in, does his final, and then issues the completion certificate, which is sent direct to the customer. Depending on the size of the contractor, you'll get different warranties, from a simple warranty from the builder all the way through to insurance-backed warranties. Smaller contractors will generally insure the work for a set term. Structurally, if there's any movement, he's responsible to come back and fix it. If there's any electrical problems, one of the sockets isn't working, that's down to the builder to come back. The grey areas, which is worth talking to the builder right at the beginning, is drying out cracks. If you think there's gallons of water that goes into an extension, from the concrete to the screed to the plaster to the tile adhesive, there's gallons of water. And in time, especially in the summer, it will contract as it dries out. So you will get the odd tiny little hairline cracks. So get that finalised with the builder before you start. Your bigger contractors on your bigger builds, they will have insurance-backed warranties. This is just in case they go bust. So if they go bust towards the end of the job or you're finished, there's an insurance-backed warranty to cover all of that work.